A better look at Origami King, Paper Mario. I just woke up recently, so if I sound groggy or irritated, that's why. My sleep schedule's been screwed up for the past 3 months, so I'm kind of getting used to that. But I'm gonna just get this over with because I just need to see this.
Has been seized by Origami. The sudden appearance of King Ollie, the Origami King, has thrown the world into disarray. And so, in the paper-crafted universe of the Paper Mario series, a new quest to reclaim Peach's castle begins.
Okay.
Paper Mario, the Origami King.
So they just pull it up on a volcano.
Mario sets out on his latest journey around the world, searching for the ends of 5 massive streamers that have unfurled from Peach's castle. A forest spring, an autumn mountain, a ninja-filled mansion, an underground sewer system, a desert oasis. Untold trials await Mario in an array of captivating landscapes. Wielding mighty paper techniques, you'll help Mario unfold new paths, explore vast regions, unlock the secrets of an ancient ruin, brave the raging rapids, take center stage, go island hopping, appear on a quiz show, and even...
Oh, they always bring back that quiz show.
And what's
It's a lot of minigames in this, though.
to share it with?
Are they actual partners?
Meet Olivia, Mario's steadfast travel companion. However, she's
Like actual partners, not just like tag-along
determined to
temporary
follow
allies.
This bright young lady helps Mario out of all sorts of jams. During Mario's journey, he'll cross paths with a variety of characters. A Bob-omb who's lost his memory.
Bobby? Oh, they actually have names!
History.
At least one of
A
them.
Magic Koopa with a penchant for cleaning? Kamek.
Is the Bob-omb the only one with a name?
Battling Mario's enemies.
Well, partners are actually back, okay. That's literally all I needed to see, bro. They didn't show that before.
This grid of rings is the stage on which battles will unfold.
Is there depth in this combat? That's another question I got.
Battles. You'll first want to arrange enemies in advantageous positions to turn the tide of battle in your favor. These enemies may look like they're scattered at random, but spin like this, and slide like that, and voila, they're all lined up.
You got a
Choose
time
the right
limit,
weapon
though.
For the job, then attack.
We're gonna rewatch this again and like go through it.
Or hammer them home. The key to victory lies in whether you can...
Okay, clear bonus is still the coins, but like, do you get experience
Use
points?
items like the fire flower, the tail, and the power block to take down your foes.
Alright.
Classic Mario style.
Shiny
And
hammer,
while
okay.
regular battles offer a great challenge, boss battles really up
Oh
the ante.
god, here we go with this
The
again.
menacing members of the Legion of Stationery guard the ends of
And they
the
keep going on with this whole paper stick.
the sharp set of
Trying to see how many
colored
ideas
pencils,
they could
followed
pull out of their
by
ass as far
bouncy
as like
body of rubber band.
what you use in an art class.
Shifty and sticky tape to cap things off. These frightening foes each attack with a particular penchant for pulverizing paper. Unlike regular battles, in boss battles, you'll spin and slide the ring grid and build a path for Mario to reach his destination.
I don't know, dog. I feel like that's kind of a joke.
Deliver a blistering attack.
Like, remember when Paper Mario had like bosses and like big climaxes in each chapter of facing these different characters, fighting a robot, fighting a dragon, but like now we're actually fighting like colored pencils, bro. I don't know.
Throughout this vast
Like that's part of the that's why I keep bringing it up. It's like, yeah, they keep forcing this paper gimmick down your throat. Like, it makes it feel like more like a joke and less like a fully fleshed out world. Oh, that was a toad.
And, yep, you guessed it, a toad.
I'll explain some of the stuff in greater detail when we rewatch this. I'll like pause.
Finding all these toads might just prove to be worth your while. You can also toss confetti to repair holes torn in the landscape.
Oh, that's what that bag is for?
Suspicious spots to find hidden items. And try your hand at fun minigames to earn in-game rewards. Leave no page unturned as you travel the world in search of secrets and treasures. The Origami King's pernicious plot is unfolding. It's up to Mario to set things right.
Luigi's taking a role in this? At least a bigger role, it seems. I would hope so. The heck was that bird?
Paper Mario, the Origami King.
Some of this stuff definitely could have shown in the first trailer, I feel like. Like, they actually fully answered the partner question, at least to some degree. Because you didn't see the partner actually attack in battle. You only saw the cheer option, and, like, Mario was the only one attacking. Like, we didn't know if they just had some cheering role, because they had a little toad silhouette at the bottom right corner, right? Or if it was, like, another, like I said before, like in Color Splash and Sticker Star, you had, like, Toads and, like, Shy Guys tag along with you for literally, like, 30 seconds, or, like, a really short segment in, like, a specific level. Like, we didn't know beforehand if that was going to be the same case here. Because they also feigned the idea that, like, oh, you meet all these, like, original characters and, like, cool partners, yet Huey was literally the only partner you had in Color Splash, but... I guess we'll dissect this as we rewatch this.
Has been seized by Origami.
I'll give him one thing. I'll give him this, though. I like how they're giving Mario, like, more animations. Because I feel like it was, like... It wasn't really a problem, per se, I have a Color Splash, or, like, how Mario was expressed. Like, Mario generally felt like the animations felt like samey, like past other games for the most part. Like, a lot of the stuff you see in Sticker Star and Super Paper Mario's Thousand Year Door. Like, how Mario would react, it's very similar to how he would react in Color Splash. Here, I feel like you're getting more of that. That's just a small, like, detail, though.
The sudden appearance of King
I like that.
The Origami King has thrown the world into disarray. And so, in the paper-crafted universe of the Paper Mario series, a new quest to reclaim Peach's castle begins.
I feel like... I don't know, they said like, the tape and the rubber band and the damn colored pencils, like, literal, like, art supplies are bosses now. Like, they said those were the bosses, but... Is Gooper Blooper a boss? Is the giant Pokey a boss? Because, like... I don't know, dog. If... It... Hang on. We'll get to that, because, like...
Paper Mario.
Excuse me.
Mario sets out
I literally got out of bed again, like, 15-20 minutes ago. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, yeah, that's not that's not the best use of my sleeping time. I mean, like, some of these places look like they have some kind of creativity to them, but, like, some of us said the same thing for Color Splash. At least when we saw a couple more of the locations anyways.
Unlock the secrets of an ancient ruin. Brave the raging rapids. Take center stage. Go island hopping. Appear on a quiz show. And even duke it out.
Okay, it might not be exactly like Sniff It or Whiff It, but like it's essentially a Shy Guy quiz show. Let me introduce myself for real, I'm Bob-omb. But they give him the name Bobby. Okay, I'm gonna assume, like, Bobby is his actual name. Wait, are these all the allies we get, actually? Okay, if these are all the allies we'll get, then, like... See, a lot of what this game is doing, it's like a double-edged sword. I guess we'll get into it now. Like, so much of what it's doing is a double-edged sword. Between the partners, between, like... Okay, there's still more about the battle system we have to see. And, like, the bosses, too, like... As far as the allies go, and the characters itself, like, again, it's literally all the same Mario characters we've seen time and time again. Like, there's no, like, unique distinction between all of them except for, like, Kamek. But, like, Kamek has been distinct since, like, Yoshi's Island. For being, like, this one, like, one-off Magic Koopa that, like, bosses around or hangs with Bowser Jr. And, like, helps Bowser and whatnot, right? You see him in, like, Bowser's... No, not... Actually, wait, do you see him? Yeah, I think you do see him in Bowser's Side Story. Dream Team, Paper Jam, frickin' Sticker Star Onward, the Yoshi's Island games, like I said again. Like, it's cool that, like, Bowser Jr., and Kamek, like, those guys are partners, but, like those three I don't have a problem with being partners. At least the Bowser and Bowser Jr., because, like, those two are actually, like, Bowser's been a partner before. If Bowser could do more than just what he is, like, right now, because he looks like a wet floor sign, which I think is cute. Like, if you could do more with Bowser than what he is now, I think that's cool. Bowser Jr. probably has a lot of potential, too. Plus, I like Bowser Jr. as a character. And, like, Kamek, I mean, like, it's a Magic Koopa, so, like, technically that's new in its own way. Even though it's still Kamek. But, and we don't know if there's more partners beyond these 5, too. We don't know if there's more beyond this. But, a basic Bob-omb. He has no fuse. Okay, yeah, sure. Same for Bob-ombs in Mario 64. They were pink, still infused. Same for the Bob-ombs in Thousand Year Door. There's, like, several different Bob-ombs, mostly pirates, that didn't have fuses on their heads. Like, that's not new. With the little, like, key turning thing on their back, like, that's not new, dog. That's still a regular Bob-omb. He has his name Bobby, sure. But, like, you know they could have gone an extra mile to give, like, these Bob-ombs, Koopa Troopa, Shy Guys, Goombas, etc., like, I don't know, like, hair, different skin color, make this Bob-omb, like, I don't know, red, yellow, green, give him, like, hair, a ponytail, some, like, extra hat, like, extra features, like Thousand Year Door or 64 did, you know? Like what most people want out of characters from Paper Mario. That's just one aspect, by the way. I said we're gonna, like, break this down, but, like, that's one thing that's a double-edged sword. It's like, they keep utilizing the best of their ability of, like, pre-established Mario characters. But, like, people want the new, original, uniquely designed characters in Paper Mario. Mario Odyssey did it. Mario Odyssey has original characters. Like, I think Mario Tennis... Does Mario Tennis... I don't know about Mario Tennis. Luigi's Mansion brought back the original ghosts. They listened to that criticism, and, like, again, Mario Odyssey literally is taking aspects of what people want out of a Paper Mario game. But why can't Paper Mario do the same thing? When that's the Mario sub-series that practically pioneered the whole idea. They're like, oh, let's just introduce these new original characters and, like, have this original story with, like, original set pieces and whatnot. Like, why don't they do that with the actual Paper Mario series? I don't get it. It's cool that 3D Mario and Luigi's Mansion is going back to that style, or like building upon it, but, like, I don't get why Paper Mario doesn't do the same thing, you know?
Meet Olivia.
But if they play their cards right with the pre-established characters, then maybe it could be cool. Maybe it'll be cute in its own way. My biggest fear is that even with, like, Kamek and Bowser Jr. and, like, all these other characters, they'll just come off as forgettable because, like, there's only so much you could do with giving them, like, cute little dialogue. Like, look at Color Splash. Like, yeah, Color Splash is, like, funny writing, but, like, you're not going to remember which specific Toad or which specific Shy Guy outside of, like, a few instances that had that like, character and writing and charm, because it's literally a Shy Guy and a Toad, you know? There's only so much you could do if you don't have a unique design. That's literally what makes these characters so good and so amazing in Paper Mario. Because they're so unique, they stand out visually, not just personality-wise. Like, it feels like a half step. Which goes back to the whole baby step mentality I mentioned in my other Torn on Origami King video. Like, they keep doing these baby steps, bro. You can make the whole leap. You can make the whole mile run. Why do you gotta go half?
Lady helps Mario out of all sorts of jams.
I'll give him this. I think there's more interesting locales here than in Color Splash. At least they're showing. Memory loss. Oh.
A Toad professor of ancient history.
Like, this is primary reason number one. Like, remember the Rangers, the Toad Rangers in Color Splash? Literally, they just gave him, like, these ranger outfits, but they didn't change anything else outside of the color. Like, what Toads usually have in all Mario games. Like, this Toad, all he has is, like, this Explorer's outfit. It's cute. It's still a yellow Toad, though. And it's just Professor Toad. They don't give him, like, a name. Like, they gave the Babama name. Like, they don't go the extra step. They do, like, the bare minimum.
And the magic
That's why it's, like, it's hard for me to, like, fully hop aboard on this. Because, like, it's still, like, baby steps towards the Paper Mario game that, like, me and other people want out of the series, that they've done at least twice, debatably 3 times already. Was that a rake he was holding? That didn't look like his thing.
Will even aid in battling Mario's enemies.
Bomb bump. Okay, like a tackle move. Okay, the battle system itself.
Contact with an enemy, and a battle begins. This
Hang on, I gotta go through it step by step.
Which battles will unfold. A fresh
Yeah, like, see right there. Cheer, hint, fleet. Literally a Toad silhouette. Like, they didn't show anything about what the partners do in battle before. That bomb bump's literally all they had to show in the first trailer. That would have appeased at least, like, most of what Paper Mario fans were worried about. At least those who were cautiously optimistic like me. Like, that would have gone a long way. That would have gone a long way with the first impression, I feel.
Take on Paper Mario battles. You'll first want to arrange enemies in advantageous positions to turn the tide of battle in your favor.
So, like...
These enemies may look like they're...
I mean, I don't know.
But spin
The spin turn-based battle, like turn ring-based, I'll just call it ring-based battle system. I mean, that's what it is, it's a ring. So you have weapons and items. And, like, actions, too. So, are badges back? Are they? Like...
For the job. Then
we saw a bigger list later on.
Stomp on foes.
Yeah, shiny hammer. Do you have, like, 2 chances to attack? Actually? I don't know. I want to say badges are back too? Because, like, they have a weapons and items list, and, like, given that I think they confirmed there are no such thing as, like, disposable items now, so I think that's, like, one worry. That's, like, one way they can make the battle system good, which, like, I think they did, but, like, at the same time, Color Splash and Sticker Star's battle system was literally made no sense. Forget that it wasn't anything like the past 2 games. Like, you literally had no reason to fight at all. That's one of the reasons why it sucked. So, now you don't have, like... If they have experience points in this, or, like, a better incentive outside of coins, unless they figure out a way to actually utilize the way you spend coins, because now the disposable items are gone, so what do you spend coins on? Like, probably badges and whatnot? Like, I don't know. I feel like if they add actual experience points, and if they do some, I don't know. Like, experience points is the only thing I could think of, because, like, I don't think you could really, like, go wrong if you just, I don't know. If you get a lot of coins, and then you just buy badges and items in the shops, and if they're not disposable, then, like, maybe that could work in their favor. But at the same time, if you get a lot of coins in the overworld, like you could with the stickers and the cards and Color Splash, then we're not exactly back to square one with the battle system problem, but, like, at the same time, like, what's the point if you don't give us an incentive to battle outside of the coins, which you could get in the overworld? Like, we don't see the experience points in this. There may be other sources that came out after this trailer for all we know, but just put regular, normal experience points in this like any other RPG. Like, once you see that, then I'll be like, alright. I'll be like maybe 70% of the way there for being cautiously optimistic. But, like, so far, before where I was like a 50, now I'm like, what, like a 60-ish? So, like, it's gradually warming up to me. But, like, part of me still feels like... It's like as time goes on, the more they keep, like, playing, like, this whole paper gimmick... Oh, I didn't even get to that, actually. It's like... I mean, like, look at that. That's a lot of coins. And you saw, like, in snippets of this trailer and the previous trailer, too, like... You get, like, over, like, 10,000 coins. That's higher than the amount of coins you would have in the maximum capacity of coins you would get in Sticker Star and Color Splash too. So, I don't know, bro. That doesn't make me think they're adding much bonuses outside of that other than, like, maybe a list of items or, like, maybe a badge or weapon or two. Because I believe disposable items like the cards and stickers are gone, but, like, what else are they going to do outside of that? Because it doesn't seem like they're changing that much of the battle system or your inventory outside of that. The bag you carry in the overworld is just confetti, which you just plug up holes, which, honestly, it's not that different from filling up the colorless spots and Color Splash with the paint.
The key to victory lies in whether you can get the enemies in line before time runs out.
Also, I think that's my only issue with this battle system too, is that timer. Granted, I think like 30 seconds. It's pretty long, so it feels generous at least. But I don't know. Why do you need a timer in a RPG like turn-based battle system? Pokemon never had one. Pokemon has one in competitive play, but that's it, and it's like 60 seconds. Casually throughout the entire game, otherwise throughout Pokemon, you don't have a timer. Paper Mario never had a timer. Mario and Luigi never had a timer. Like, I don't know.
Use items like the fire
That doesn't seem like a good way to like rush the player
Classic Mario
and limit their options. Okay, here it is. Boots, shiny iron boots, hammer, shiny hammer. Probably iron hammer or shiny iron hammer. This makes me think like regular attacks are coming back. Which is good.
And while regular battles offer
okay.
challenge.
Alright, no. I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, so this part right here. This the rubber tape as a boss, colored pencils as a boss. I said rubber band, right? The tape. Like this plus like the whole confetti part, that's exactly what I'm talking about when I say like people do not like how they keep hammering. They keep pushing down your throat. They're like, yeah, guys, it's Paper Mario. Ha! Get it? We're so funny, you guys, because we haven't made the same joke like literally 300 times the past 2 games in a row. You know? Like, here's the thing, right? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think either Paper Mario 64, 1000 Year Door, or Super, right? It's like the characters, maybe. Story, battle system, writing, maybe the set pieces or music. Like, maybe one of those 6? Probably, right? When is the paper part? When does that come into your mind? That's like one of the last things that comes to most people's minds with the whole paper joke. Because, like, the mostly done, it's like, oh, you turn into a paper airplane. Go ahead and cross these gaps. Oh, you gotta turn into a paper boat? Here you go. Now you can move along water. Like, they treat it as like a joke, because it's like, oh, you got cursed. Ooh, spooky. And it's like this funny little dude, it's like, that plays the same joke, like, I think like 5 times. But like, they try to like change it up with like dialogue here and there. But like, you turning into like these paper objects and like, using it as a ways to platform and move across the overworld, like, they treated it as a joke, and it was never the focus. That's legit one of the last things that would ever cross your mind when you think of the last 3 Paper Marios. The paper part was literally an afterthought, because it wasn't only a joke and like a really small bit of the gameplay that they just glossed over, kind of, but it was an aesthetic. They knew it was an aesthetic. That was never the forefront of the story. That was never a forefront of the characters, the gimmicks, the actual gameplay mechanics outside of like normal platforming. Now it's like the forefront of like the story, the world, now the bosses. I thought the bosses were still going to be the same as like Sticker Star's bosses, because we saw Gooper Blooper, we saw a Giant Tower of Power Pokey. I thought we were literally going to get the same exact bosses. Maybe not all of them, but like at least most, like Petey Piranha. Petey Piranha's probably going to be in there for all I know. He was in Color Splash, so I could probably bet money he's going to be in there, but that's besides the point. Like, they keep hammering these paper gimmicks and trying to make Paper Mario this paper world. And that just makes it feel so much less anticlimactic, so much less impactful, and so much more of a joke. Because that was never the point of Paper Mario. It's literally called Mario's Story in Japan. That's literally the first game in Japan. And they're just trying to strip that. Well, I can't say that because, like, we literally don't know about the story. But, like, literally the only original characters in this game are Ollie and Olivia so far. We haven't even seen anyone else like these two. And these two are probably going to be the only original characters we get. But, like, it trivializes Paper Mario so heavily, and it makes you care so much less, because, like, they treat everything like a joke. There's no stakes. There's no, like, climax. There's no build-up. It's all a joke. Like, Color Splash did this. And, like, they said it, like, hundreds of times in their dialogue, too. It's like, huh, get it, guys? It's called Paper Mario. Like, oh, get it? It's like Crease Crumble. Like, oh. People think I'm pulling this out of my ass. But, like, people literally do not like this about Paper Mario. Because, like, there's only so much you could do with paper. There's only so much you can actually do with the paper aesthetic itself to push it as a gimmick, to push it as the main selling point for the game, until you run out. Because look at what they're doing. Color pencils, rubber tape, just regular tape, and then rubber bands as bosses now. Like, I feel like in a way that's worse than just reusing Sticker Star's bosses. Because, like, you expect me to, like, take Mario's story seriously if I'm having to fight colored pencils? That's another thing, too. Because, like, the steak in Color Splash, that was a funny boss. That was a funny boss. Because it was a one-off thing. They treated it as a one-time joke. So it never got stale. The novelty did not wear off with the steak. That's probably, like, most people's highlights. It's one of my highlights with Color Splash. But, like, this feels like almost the same exact thing, but now they're doing it, like, 5 times over, which is my own other problem, because they keep repeating. It's like, yo, okay, here it is. Yo, you guys get it? It's Paper Mario. I'm holding my mic up against my mouth. It's like, you get it? You see how these toads keep creasing and crumbling? You have confetti as a mechanic. It's called Paper Mario. You get it, guys? Because you're using paper. You gotta fill in the color of the world. You gotta fill in the color of the world. You gotta fill in the stickers, and you gotta turn these things into stickers. Oh no, you guys, you gotta defeat colored pencils. Like, me going up against my mic like that. That's what it feels like every time the game reminds you, gotta make a paper pun, cause it's called Paper Mario. Like 90% of the people playing this aren't 4. And, like, I highly doubt most people playing this is gonna be their first Paper Mario game. Maybe in a while, compared to Thousand Year Door, Super, even Sticker Star 64. But it just feels like they're repeating the same joke over and over, while also trivializing and, like, killing all the stakes and passion that Mario's story and this world has by trying to turn it into some paper gimmick and mechanic. When that was never what Paper Mario was about to begin with. It makes it feel so fake, makes it feel so less realistic and so less, like, I guess real. Because, like, Paper Mario did feel real. Like, these characters and worlds, they did feel real in the first 3 games. Ever since Sticker Star, I don't feel any of that. And you lose a shit ton of investment because of it.
This battle's really up the ante.
People think I pull that out of my ass, but no, literally you go on Twitter, and, like, yeah, how about you be open to, like, some actual criticism, for instance? Because, like, people don't go into Paper Mario for these paper gimmicks. People go into it for the actual story and characters and gameplay, not the actual paper puns. I'm just saying. That's literally why people love Thousand Year Door and 64 as much as they do. That's another thing I hate too, because, like, anything bad I say about this, anything I may not like, it's like, I'm the toxic one right now, because, like, God forbid they pulled my heart. Literally, 1 game ago, they literally did the same exact thing as, like, the worst game in the whole franchise, another game later, which is literally what Color Splash did. God forbid, right? God forbid I have problems with the last game that I'm cautiously optimistic, so people have a problem when I'm being that cautiously optimistic, so they're forced to being caustic towards anyone who's like, oh my god, you're being nitpicky. Like, God, this game doesn't deserve so much hate. It's like, God, you care so much about this Paper Mario, bro. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, dude, literally, it's not even just about the fact that, like, Sticker Star or Color Splash aren't anything like Thousand Year Door. The games literally were flawed design in, like, several different ways than one. This game, so far, seems to be remedying. It seems to remedy those other problems the other 2 games had, right? But there's still a couple other answers we don't know, and they're still doing stuff with this franchise that, like, I cannot agree with. They're doing stuff with this franchise that literally people do not want out of Paper Mario. Like, you can't say that's wrong for people to not want that thing. It's like, oh, I'm like wrong for not wanting Paper Mario to feel like some, like, joke out of an art class, you know? Like, am I wrong for wanting Paper Mario to be, like, another one of Mario's stories? Because that's literally what Paper Mario was originally like. Am I being that nitpicky to being like, can we, like, treat this like a regular story? Can we treat these characters like regular characters and treat, like, the humor and dialogue like normal, natural dialogue? Because every time they do some, like, paper pun or, like, something like this with the colored pencils, Excuse me. Because, like, every time they do something like this, it feels like they just keep hammering home that, like, yeah, guys, it's called Paper Mario. And we're going to keep calling it Paper Mario, like, another 50 times until you get it. Like, we got it literally the first 3 times in Sticker Star. You know? Am I wrong for feeling that way? I don't think the criticism I have is wrong either, because literally people go into this series asking for anything that isn't a focus, a major focus on the paper gimmick.
A legion of stationery guard the ends of the streamers in each region. A sharp set of 12 colored pencils, followed by the big bouncy...
Like, I see all of this, and I feel like it's a joke. I get no, like, suspense. I get no, like...
rubber band, and the stout
there's no tension.
And sticky tape.
Like, tape was a thing in Sticker Star and Color Splash. That was an object you could get, and now it's a boss. Like,
these frightening foes
it's like doing the steak boss fight 5 times over, except tying it to an actual, like, art class activity like Paper Mario's been doing. And it just feels like it's repeating the same joke over and over. At the expense of making these characters and worlds feel so much less alive, and so much more like a joke. Like, I can't take this seriously. I literally can't.
And tear them to shreds. Throughout this vast world, you'll find poor toads who had their forms altered by the Origami King. This is a toad. This is also a toad.
And this is basically the same thing as, like, the paint.
You guessed it, a toad.
Like, literally all the toads are, like, crumpled up and folded. That's no different than how they were removed of color. Confetti. Oh, you gotta fill confetti back into the world. Basically the same as the paint. There's still, like, trinkets of colors, like, several trinkets of Color Splash in here.
Leave no page unturned as you travel the world in search of secrets and treasures. The Origami King's pernicious plot is unfolding. It's up to Mario to set things right.
I feel like this game, like, there's still some other stuff about this game we don't know. I feel like this might be a better case of, like, it could stand out on its own. Even though there's like several different ties and connections you can make to Sticker Star, and it's mainly Color Splash. I feel like this could probably stand on its own in a way similar to Super Paper Mario, maybe. If the plot's any good, for one. If the plot's good, if the combat doesn't fall flat on its face again, which so far it's looking like it may not, but like, how hard is it to do that when Color Splash and Sticker Star's battle system literally did not work for itself, like, at all, because it didn't have XP and it had the disposable items. Like, I think that's probably the main things left for this game that I need to know about. Like, is this, like, are they gonna build up any potential with the story? Because, like, I could bet money. I could probably bet my soul Ollie and Olivia are the only characters we're gonna get. Those are the only original, new, actual characters we're probably gonna get. If I'm wrong, then, like, Hallelujah and the Sanctuary, but, like, I'm pretty sure those two are literally gonna be the only new characters we get. You know? But this could be a cute little game. Could be a fun time. Might be good in its own special, unique way, like Super Paper Mario again.
Paper Mario, the Origami King.
And I guess the whole paper gimmick and, like, the characters being, like, the same Mario characters we've seen before. Like, those half steps, you know? And they keep emphasizing this plot, yet they're not showing that much. I mean, granted, you show the whole, like, you can't show the whole plot of the game, I get it, but, like, so far nothing about this game, at least plot-wise, strikes me any different than how Color Splash was or Sticker Star. And those games' plots could basically be summed up in almost the same exact way. I did not eat breakfast, by the way. This game could be good, it's doing some things right, at least, but, like, there's some stuff this game is doing already that, like, I don't want Paper Mario to do, that I've already expressed numerous times before, that other people don't want Paper Mario to be. Like, we don't know how far they're going to take the actual story. We don't know how good it is. We don't know how far they're going to take the battle system. Because, like, it seems like the disposable items are gone, but, like, we don't know how deep the combat's going to be. Because even though the combat in Color Splash literally made no sense, another problem it had, that it was so incredibly simple and basic, like, 85% of the time you were just jumping or hammering. Like, that's another reason why battles felt so boring. You felt like you were doing the same exact procedure over and over. Save for the thing cards, which you saved for the bosses because they were mandatory. Which I don't think that's a mandatory thing. Like, I think you gotta be a little bit more creative with the bosses in this game at least. Which is cool. But at the same time though, like how much more deep is the combat gonna be? Like, that's another question I have. Ignore my barking dogs in the background. I love Tony and Bear, but like, bruh. It's the most annoying thing, right? But that's besides the point. But like, again, the combat, we don't know how deep that's going to be, or if it's going to be simple. The story, they still don't have any original characters outside Ollie and Olivia. Like, and the whole paper gimmick, the way they're pushing this paper gimmick, it just makes this game and the world of Paper Mario feel like a bigger joke than it ever has been. But once again, we literally do not know a lot about the story. They're trying to keep that secret, which I get, given how like Mario's siding with Bowser, but even with that, they could still screw that up. And even then, they'd rather opt for pushing this whole paper gimmick and shoving in your face thousands of times over, whether through comedic dialogue, visual humor, or even the bosses themselves. They're like, yeah guys, this is Paper Mario. Get it? Paper? Oh, wait, let me make ourselves clear. It's called Paper Mario. They would rather shove it in your face, that they would rather treat Paper Mario like an actual paper gimmick. Shove in as many different gimmicks involving paper or something you would do in an art class as much as possible than actually flesh out the, like, Mario's world and Mario's story with having extra characters and like an enticing original story like Thousand Year Door and Super. Like, they would rather treat the series like a joke with its paper aesthetic than actually give it a fleshed out story, you know? And like, it's annoying, people think like I'm pulling it out of my ass and I'm like reaching for thin air. But like, tell me you guys, what's the first game called in Japan? What's literally the main appeals of Paper Mario that people love about the first 3 games? When does the gimmick of paper ever come in players' minds when they play the first 3 games? When is that ever brought up? When is that ever the main vocal point? When is that ever the focus? Right? But I don't know. Maybe the game will be cute, but like, yeah, the way this franchise is going, I just can't. I cannot agree. I just can't agree. And like, there's some stuff about Origami King we may not know, and there's like the way, like, I need more interviews and like developer insider info and whatnot, like with Color Splash and Sticker Star. I need more of that, cause like, if Taro Kudo and Naohiko Aoyama are co-directing this game again, along with Kensuke Tanabe being a main producer, like, I feel like Why Paper Mario Changed might get warranted a sequel, to be honest. Because, like, there's still stuff about Paper Mario, at least with the changes between Sticker Star to Color Splash. This is less about expanding on Super, but, like, basically the vision they have for Paper Mario going forward, which I cannot agree with at all. I just can't. But Origami King, like, it may seem like a much more, like,
has been seized.
It may be like a decent time again. Here,
Paper Mario.
yeah, I'll just end that on that. Like, it may seem like a decent game, better than Color Splash, better than Sticker Star, sure, but like, that's already an extremely low bar to begin with. I don't know why people keep being like, oh, at least it's better than Sticker Star, bro. Again, that goes back to my whole baby steps mentality. Like, you could make the whole leap. They've literally made the leap several times before with other Mario franchise. I don't get why Paper Mario has to be the one to not make that leap. And like, God forbid, it's like, oh, it's like, no, they can't go back to the original formula, because like, oh, change is good. Change is inherently good. There's no such thing as a bad change to some people. And like, if they just go back to the original formula, to some people, they'll be like, oh, that's bad because then it'll get stale. Right. Like, people don't eat up Kirby every single time. Like, people don't eat up the 2D Donkey Kong games, 3D Mario, Mario and Luigi. 2D Mario even, Final Fantasy, Pokemon. Like, those franchises literally do not add small, different things and at least one new gimmick about it without changing the formula at all. Because God forbid Paper Mario does that. Because people eat those games up all the time, right? God forbid Paper Mario does the same thing. And like, oh, it's like, and the way I'm talking, like, it's kind of caustic, but that's the annoying thing. Like, you can't be cautiously optimistic. You can't be negative. You can't give any criticism about these games at all, even based off trailers and shit. Cause like, any negativity is unfair, but unless you like deep throw anything, unless you're positive about whatever game trailer they throw out, as long as you're positive, then like, oh, your opinion's fine. But if you say anything bad, even like something as remote or small as like, oh, there's not like a single original character, yet that's like one small issue of like a bigger picture. Like, oh, how dare you? Oh my god, you're so toxic, bro. Like, this is like as if this is literally not the same exact problems people have with Color Splash. Because like, Color Splash has its fans. I'll admit that, but like, people generally did not like the direction Paper Mario was going. Like, literally, like, almost universally, people do not like Color Splash. Like, there are people who played the game, like, the writing's good, sure. Like, people may not mind Color Splash in the grand scheme, at least those who played it. Like, those who play Color Splash may not mind it. But most people don't like the direction Color Splash is taking with the series. But now with this game, even though it's kind of going in a very similar direction, like, all of a sudden, that cautious optimism and criticism has to be thrown out the window. I find that bullshit. I'm sorry, dog. Like, it's so weird how, like, people were singing the same exact tune most Paper Mario fans were singing during Color Splash, yet now all of a sudden, it's like, oh no, guys, better than Sticker Star and Color Splash, because, like, that's the bar we're setting now? Like, I mean, like, people have different standards and values, sure, but, like, for me, at least, that's not this value or standard I want for the series going forward. But, like, that's just me, bro. Origami King, I'm being more optimistic now. Because, like, the battle system seems to be better than I originally anticipated it to be. My fear for, like, the whole partner thing, I think that's probably been alleviated almost completely now. We'll see how effectively they use it. Maybe the story will be good. Maybe the combat will be a lot better than I'm expecting it to be. So far, it might be decent. We already don't have the expendable items anyways. And maybe it's just a matter of, like, how effectively they'll use, like, how coins will come into play in the overworld. Yeah, there's a lot to think about when it comes to Paper Mario. There's a lot to unpack and a lot to dissect. I guess I could sum it up like this. It's like, things I'm looking forward to in Color Splash, it's like, graphics, it's like, building off the same engine as Color Splash, that game already looked fine. It looked good. Art style's one thing or another with other people, but, like, graphically, it, like, looks good. Art style's a different matter, but, like, graphically, the game looks good. That's one thing. Music's probably gonna be fine, too. Partners are back, so, like, the gameplay is at least, like, inching its way to being actually solid. It looks like similar to Color Splash, but also Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. It's trying to utilize to the best of its ability the pre-established Mario characters it has. Because, like, both those games didn't introduce new characters outside of, like, one in Color Splash's case. And, like, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, worst Mario and Luigi game, sure, but I can at least say it was a good game, because, like, the gameplay was still good, the writing was still good, and it did utilize, like, the best of its ability of the pre-established characters it did have. Which Color Splash also did, so I can, like, give that game a plus, but we have to see if this game will do the same. But as far as, like, downsides to it, though, there's still stuff about the combat system we don't know. We don't know how deep or complex it may or may not be. We don't know how good the story's gonna be. Like, you could still screw up a plot with Mario teaming up with Bowser if, like, you're not gonna make it, like, any sort of high stakes or, like, any sort of, like, tension built between the two. Especially with the whole paper gimmick. Like, the tension just kind of dies because it doesn't feel like it's this big, grandiose story. Like an actual, like, natural story like Paper Mario used to be. Which, that's another thing. Like, I do not like how they keep forcing this whole paper gimmick. Because I was already sick of it by Color Splash. But, like, it's basically treating Paper Mario like a big-ass joke. Not a story, not a fleshed-out world, not with these natural, original characters. Nah, bro, you gotta have, like, all these big paper puns, paper supplies as bosses. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's basically a joke. Which I do not like. And, like, if you're gonna treat that like a joke, why should I treat the series like like anything but a joke at this point, you know? But that like ties into like this whole direction the series is going into. Game's probably gonna be decent. I'll give it a shot. I feel like this is a game I might stream. I genuinely feel like this is a game I'm gonna stream. Just for me to like, cause like that's another benefit about this game too. It's like, oh, it's like we got this notice like 2 months before it came out. So like it feels like like if it's bad, it feels like a band-aid. So it's like, oh, you just rip it off. You don't gotta wait like a whole year. And it's just like you rip it off, get it done quick. Don't gotta worry about it. It's like a band-aid. You know, but like like there's some strengths to admitting it. Like I have no issue admitting Color Splash has the strengths it has. It's just people go into this series between those two, that and Origami King. People go into the series between those two games expecting completely different things, especially at this point too, because like now they treat Paper Mario like this whole paper joke. Because now there's gonna be people who will be like, oh, this is like what Paper Mario is now, and like this is how they're gonna prefer Paper Mario. Like it's very similar to like Sonic, because like people go into Sonic with like 2D, then 3D, and then like the spin-offs. Because like Sonic's like this whole hodgepodge of a bunch of experimentation with a bunch of different games trying different things between story and gameplay. That like there's like a split between like what fans prefer which kind of game. It's not that big, but there's also like the bigger split people don't talk about, which they're kind of starting to nowadays with Sonic. It's like there's a split between actual Sonic fans and like non-Sonic fans. Like around like the late 2000s, people be like, oh, Sonic doesn't need all of his dumb friends. Sonic doesn't need this like dark, edgy plot. He just needs to go fast, jump on enemies, and that's it. And like I feel like that's part of the reason we have like games like Colors, like Generations, Lost World Forces, games that like they focus so heavily on just Sonic as a gameplay aspect. They don't focus on any of his friends, if at all. And like they're so linear. They're so like, and like the writing too. They have like very little story, or if they do, it's like bad. And like the whole Sonic thing could get into its whole debate. But like that whole side to where like non-Sonic fans. I keep thinking of IGN, even though they already like they kind of like fired everyone who like had like this shark animosity towards Sonic, because like it wasn't like journalism at that, because like they just hammered hard on like every Sonic game that didn't try to replicate like the 2D classic Sonic games. So I feel like there's going to be a similar effect with Paper Mario, in that like now they keep focusing on like the actual paper part of Paper Mario rather than just making a proper story out of Mario with a paper aesthetic, which is what the first 3 games tried to do, and they stuck to that theme up until Sticker Star. Like that was the original vision, and now they're changing that vision. So I feel like that's gonna like create a new batch of like fans or gamers or people that just be like, well, this is Paper Mario. This is what Paper Mario is now. You either have to take it or shut up. As if criticism and feedback is completely irrelevant and that doesn't matter, yet it completely does. You know? Like, I feel like this game's generally like Color Splash already did a lot against like Paper Mario fans, against each other too, not just the franchise, but against Paper Mario fans themselves, that I feel like Origami King's just gonna like make it even worse. Like all of this, like I'm definitely gonna like tackle this stuff later in a future video in some way, if my suspicions of Origami King are gonna turn out to be true, which like for the most part they may be. Like as far as like the direction the franchise is gonna go, the whole paper gimmick, non-original characters, excuse me. Like I'm just growing more apathetic towards Paper Mario. It's like I grew apathetic towards Sonic at a certain point, but like I could at least like dive back into the series and be like, damn, there's a lot of different good games I could like play, and like Sonic's weird. Sonic's such a weird case. But like with Paper Mario, I've never seen a franchise dip off as hard as it did between stickers. Like go from like it's like, oh, the highs of like the first 2 games, and like Super, it's like just barely slightly underneath, just barely underneath, because like it's still really good, and then like, oh, Sticker Star, it's like all the way down. It's like going all the way down, and then Color Splash is just like a baby step up, and then like Origami King could be a decent game for all I know, but like what, like 2-3 steps higher up, still not like halfway. I don't know, and I'm still gonna get people bitching about how I feel about this game, how it's like, oh, it's being too harsh, being too rough. You call yourself a Paper Mario fan. Does it really matter if what I say affects how you perceive the game? Because that shouldn't how it be. Like, What one random ass dude, like this random 21-year-old bitching about Paper Mario, does it really matter that much? Because, like, what I say doesn't affect how you experience the game. Like, what I say doesn't affect your experience or your thoughts going into the game. You don't have to agree. I'm not saying you have to. I don't know, bro. We'll see how it goes. I'm still gonna get people hating how I'm being, like, even partially negative. Or even just hating, like, a single aspect. Because, like, God forbid criticism exists. God forbid feedback exists. God forbid most people did this in Color Splash. But God forbid we do it again. Even though there's still some red flags about Origami King that I don't like. Either about it or the direction it's putting this franchise. Whatever. Because people would rather close their ears, shut their mouths, and just deep throat. Not everyone, mind you. Of course, like, I'm saying criticism and feedback is completely fine. Like, the original characters part, the combat, the story, the whole paper gimmick being shoved down your throat, like, that's all fair criticism. I think that's fine and valid criticism, because it makes sense. It literally makes sense. To me, at least, it makes sense. But to some people, it just doesn't. Because they literally would rather just deep throat anything Nintendo shoves down their throat, and just be like, oh, this is good stuff. Well, Nintendo always wins, bro. They always win. Like, they'd rather be sheep. Complacent sheep. And, like, those kinds of people are the loud ones that try to speak against the criticism, which is the annoying thing. And it kind of goes back to the whole Sonic ordeal with, like, fans and non-fans. Classic, modern, spin-off or not, edgy story, or, like, piss poor, or, like, very, very mediocre story. Again, non, or, like, actual fans, too. Like a bunch of those different, like, subsections of, like, fans, I guess. Because I feel like Paper Mario is going through something extremely similar right now. Which is annoying. But it's whatever. They did this with Sticker Star and Color Splash, and I think they're kind of enforced with Origami King, so... It's whatever. Apathy is growing within me towards the series, but it's whatever. Like, of course a part of me still cares. But, like, there's only so much I could throw a lot of emotion at this when they're not even gonna care. So, why should I, you know? I don't know. But, like, Origami King, it might be a decent game. At the end of the day, it could be decent. So, it probably is. Like, I'm like before it was 50-50, now it's like 60. I'm like 60% of the way there. It's like, I'm like kind of inching myself. It's like, I'm like generally, maybe, probably decent. I'm probably gonna stream the game too. I don't think I'm gonna let's play it. We'll see what comes up of it. We'll see. But let me know what you guys think. Did this affirm your, like, worries about this game, I guess, and, like, the franchise moving forward? Like, I guess it's a discussion on both, like, how the game is on its own, and, like, how this is for the entire Paper Mario series moving forward. That's my question. That's basically my question for this series going forward. It's like, did this affirm any of your suspicions at all? If not, let me know down below. Like, let me know how you're feeling about Origami King now that this trailer comes out. I'm, like, slightly more optimistic. I'm slightly more, like, fair, more, like, happy, I guess you could say, towards this game now. Because, like, it affirmed the whole partner thing I was worried about, but, like, they're treating this series like a joke. So, like, it's hard for me to treat this series seriously anymore when they keep doing that. And it's sad, but, like, at the same time, I'm just beginning to care less and less. You know? Like, I don't know if I want, like, I don't know if I'm that, like, preachy guy to, like, farewell Paper Mario forever, like farewell Sonic, or, like, Sonic fans dipping, like, even though I completely get why Sonic fans dip, why they just stop caring about Sonic anymore, but, I don't know, because, like, Paper Mario is still Mario at the end of the day, and there's still a lot of good Mario games, so it's, like, and I have such a big attachment to the first three, especially Thousand Year Door, so it's, like, it's hard for me to really be, like, I'm done with this series when, like, I have, like, the first three to fall back on. Plus Bug Fables, because that's still a really good game, and a lot of other Mario games that aren't Paper Mario, so it's weird. I don't know. I dragged this video out a lot longer than it needs to be. Thank you for watching. Sorry for wasting your time. Thank you for watching up until the very end if you have. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe with this whole, like, COVID and, like, a bunch of other stuff going on in the world. Like, be safe. Stay hydrated. Stay healthy. Stay super. And stay tuned for other Paper Mario videos, because you know I'm going to be talking about Origami King in the future of Paper Mario for sure. Again, why Paper Mario changed. Might get a sequel. And I also have a series planned for the channel of, like, me going into like more in-depth analyses, not just reviews of like each individual chapter of the first 3 Paper Marios, because like that's what Paper Mario used to be. It's like Mario's story. So I figured I'd just cover like the story bits of Paper Mario and like their own videos for a series, because apparently a lot of you want that, and I feel like that could probably be like a really good series for this channel. So I feel like I'll definitely dive into that at some point, not soon, but later. Also, stick around later, 8 o'clock tonight. I'm going to be a part of this COVID-19 charity stream for, it's called Rehydrated Relief, where I'm going to be playing through the SpongeBob movie game and like hyping up the like it's me and a bunch of other YouTubers taking part in like gathering up funds and donating towards people in need for like food and whatnot for COVID-19. I might have that wrong. Hang on a second. Like, stick around later tonight for charity stream for COVID. People in need for COVID. We're going to be playing the SpongeBob movie game for 2 hours. And it's going to be multiple YouTubers doing this throughout the day. Throughout the weekend, actually. And there might be a second wave of this charity stream taking place in a few weeks, too. But stick around for that. Stick around for Paper Mario content, etc. Alright, I grabbed your attention long enough. I'm sorry. Stay super.